Hello, tudo bem, konnichiwa, hola, como estas, aloha, what it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. And what we are going to talk about is something that's been kind of ravaging through the internet, taking up a lot of people's energy and air. And I find myself in message boards having these conversations with people. Some people are like more calm about it and can be more honest or responsible. And then you see some people like just absolutely flipping out. And honestly, in my opinion, it's going to be the LeBron James fans. I have friends that are LeBron James fans. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of LeBron James. My friends are usually pretty decent. They're not, outrageous, but there's a lot of online LeBron people that are outrageous. They literally lose their minds when you say anything about LeBron James that they don't love. They are really ridiculous, in my opinion, at times. More so than any other fan base I've ever seen. So Tracy McGrady is the recent person at the end of the barrel, the double barrel shotgun that they want to shoot everybody with that does not love LeBron like they do. And essentially what he said is that he doesn't think LeBron James is a great one-on-one player. However, Tracy McGrady still holds LeBron James in very high regard as a great NBA player. Even calls him the greatest of this era and this generation. However, LeBron James fans don't like that. That's you can't say that LeBron James, who has all these points, is not the best scorer. So let's listen to what TMac had to say, and we'll see if that's fair or foul.
I think the greatest one-on-one basketball player of all time is.
It's hard to decipher that, man, because if you look at LeBron, right? I think LeBron has been amazing for 22 freaking years, and he's been the best basketball player for God knows how long. But if you put him in one-on-one, I think he'll get crushed.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I think he'll get crushed amongst guys that are actually in NBA, and I'm sure LeBron will tell you that because his game is naturally built for a 5-on-5. He's not a one-on-one basketball player. Kobe is a one-on-one basketball player. Kyrie is a one-on-one basketball player. James Harden, these guys are one-on-one basketball players, and LeBron can't do anything with that.
So that particular clip has been driving LeBron James fans absolutely nuts. And to an extent, I get it, because they're always fighting to prove that LeBron James is some great scorer. But at the end of the day, guys, I'm sorry. You just have to admit that he's not, all right? I did a video with Steph Curry saying that basically, and it wasn't just to make fun of LeBron, and this is not making fun of him, this is just facts. Steph Curry has more 50-point games than LeBron James and 537 less games. Like, what are we talking about here, man? When we talk about great scorers, you're talking about guys that it could explode for a lot of points, pause no diddy, in a short amount of time. You know what I mean? These guys are flamethrowers. They are rocket launchers. They can really score a lot of points quickly, or you just really can't stop them from scoring points without a double team. And I hate to say this, but if you look at LeBron... Actually, I don't hate to say this. This is the facts. If you look at LeBron James's game, most of the way he plays is off of pick and rolls. Most of the time when people rely heavily on pick and roll, it's because they're not the best ISO scorers. However, the two people I've seen that run pick and roll a lot that actually are great scorers is James Harden and Luka Doncic. They are on another level, okay? I will say they and especially Harden in his prime, they're on another level, man. Most of the people that just destroy pick and roll like that are not the best ISO scorers. Kevin Durant uses a lot of pick and roll too, but he doesn't need it. He can do it without the pick and roll. And I mean, other players use pick and roll, but I mean, when you watch LeBron and Luka and James Harden, that's like a large part of their offense. And so, minus Luka and minus James Harden, who have shown to be great either way, LeBron is not a great individual one-on-one player. He doesn't have a lot of moves. He relies heavily on the pick and roll. He's not really, and he attacks matchups heavily. He attacks them a lot more than any player I've ever seen, besides maybe Chris Paul. So he's a headhunter. He's always looking for the advantage. But when he gets a really good defender on him, at times it looks like he's kind of stuck. He's got to get to the basket. If he's having a hard time getting to the basket and you're making him settle for a bunch of jump shots, he's not going to score. I'm literally watching a game right now between the Lakers and the Mavericks, and LeBron, he just kind of, he's in the game, but he doesn't create shots at the same rate as somebody like a Luka Doncic can, because he just doesn't take tough shots. He doesn't take tough shots. He barely makes tough shots. And to me, LeBron was a better one-on-one player earlier in his career. His first stint on the Cavs when he didn't have so much help, because that's really, to me, that's another reason I don't think LeBron is quite the one-on-one player that some of these other guys are, is because he relies heavily on the help. He's always playing next to a top-notch scorer, somebody that can score 26 points a game, somebody that can average 26 points a game. If you're doing that, then you're not carrying the scoring load like some of these guys who are like amazing at scoring. You look at James Harden's best years, he was the scorer. So he was scoring at a crazy high rate. And the next person wasn't scoring at that same rate. Kobe, Pau Gasol was nice, but Pau was averaging like 18 points a game. There was a series where Pau averaged 13 points a game against the Spurs, and the Lakers still won that. You know what I mean? Because Kobe was averaging like 33 points a game. That's an elite scorer. When you watch LeBron James, how many series has he won when he didn't have somebody else, cranking up the scoring load like that? So, again, though, he called LeBron James the greatest for a long time in his mind, which is fine. But the greatest doesn't mean best scorer or best ISO player, because I agree with T-Mac. I don't think personally that LeBron is that. I think the offense has to be flowing correctly for him to be effective. Even if you go back to the 2011 loss against the Mavericks, when Dwayne Wade was running the show, his offense was fine. They lost that series because LeBron couldn't find his offense. What great offensive player just can't score? And you're not being like double teamed. And some of his fans might say, oh, well, he was being double teamed. They played a zone, and they forced him to shoot, and he couldn't shoot. So, similar to what the Spurs did in 2007. And, so, I mean, anytime I've seen a team force LeBron James to shoot more jumpers than he can get to the basket, he has struggled at somewhere within those games or that series. And that he has to have somebody behind him or next to him scoring like 20, 25, 26 points a game. Or his scoring alone is not going to get it done. It's just not going to happen. And against teams that are like not good, which is most of the teams he faced in the East for most of his time there, except for like, a few years where there was really some tough teams, at least at the top. He's carried some of the scoring load in against weak teams, but when you play good teams, it doesn't work that way. And LeBron just looks lost out there. It looks like, whatever points they need him to score, he's not going to be able to do, because he's not very creative either. That's the word nobody talks about when we talk about scoring. What is your level of creativity? When I watch LeBron, his scoring is not creative. I know what he's going to do. They know what he's going to do, and it's effective. Don't get me wrong. I can't say it's not effective, but is it creative? And my answer is no. I know exactly what he's going to do and when he's going to do it. And if he's making the jump shot, it's very tough to guard. But LeBron's not going to shoot 4 threes in a row and keep shooting. If he misses 2 or 3, he's going to the basket. So you already know where he's going. He's not going to keep shooting. He's not going to mess up that field goal percentage that he and his fans admire so much. So, I 100% agree with T-Mac. There was something that came out where Lou Will was talking about he was 11-9 versus you. That's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. If you watch LeBron James, his teams play, again, I'm watching the Mavericks and the Lakers right now, and Najee Marshall has 21 points. AD's not playing that well. Luka Doncic has like 35 points, and we're in the third quarter. But they're double teaming Anthony Davis. They're like triple teaming him. That's why he can't score. It's giving other people open shots. If you watch LeBron teams play, historically, he oversells on the best players. Now, there are some players that play against him a lot, so they've kind of figured that out. But he's going to oversell on the best player. And he's not going to guard him. He's just going to kind of create a wall around them and hang out in the background to help protect the rim. That's especially what he's been doing recently. But even on the Heat, they used to trap Derrick Rose and people like that all the time. They weren't going to let those guys beat them. So, I just say that to say that, in his head-to-head matchups, you're talking about, he's 11-9 versus TMac. I guarantee you he was double and triple teaming TMac and not trying to play TMac one-on-one at any point within that, because that's a death sentence for most people. The last time I saw somebody do that was Kobe Bryant, and T-Mac was getting him too. T-Mac was great at scoring. So a lot of LeBron James fans are upset about that. I think T-Mac said what it is. And one thing I just want to say, and I'm trying not to bash LeBron here be overly critical, but as far as his fans are concerned, this is the type of stuff that bothers me, because instead of, you just won't give up anything. You know what I mean? And you'll probably call people a hater that just agree with the truth. He's not the scorer that somebody like T-Mac was. If you watch T-Mac in his prime, the buckets were endless. You had to double team him on dang near every play. He wasn't looking to pass to somebody else to score. He was scoring, I think his high was 33 per game. He was averaging that while getting double teamed. He was averaging that, and they knew he wasn't going to be averaging no 10 assists. You look at Harden, Luka Doncic, LeBron, they may get to 30 points, but it's because of their passing. Mainly LeBron. I think Luka and Harden could get to 30 if they just wanted to keep chucking. I know Harden could. Luka, it's also similar to me. It's very much his points, even though he's tough, are also because if you could just surround him and he wasn't a passer, he wouldn't be able to average 30 points a game. I don't think he would. But he uses his teammates and manipulates the game to be able to get better opportunities for even himself, which he learned from a LeBron James type player. That he's the prototype for that. I think Harden can get a lot more of his own buckets if he wants. He could in his prime, at least. Luka and LeBron use their teammates. With T-Mac and Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant and Melo, they weren't averaging 10 assists a game. They were coming to give you buckets, regardless. And they still were averaging all them points per game. Make that make sense. LeBron and Luka type, they average those points because they make the illusion that, I'm going to shoot it, but I'm really just looking to pass to somebody that's open. And you get tired of watching threes get drained in your jaw. Pause. So you stop doubling, and then they start getting more one-on-one opportunities. With somebody like T-Mac, he was from the jump trying to score 60 on you, and you knew that, and he still was getting to 33. So let that sink in. There's a difference. There is a difference. Even though Lou Will was bad-talking T-Mac, when Lou Will came in the game, you knew he was trying to give you 20. He's not trying to get 10 assists, and he still was getting 20. People like that you know aren't going to do a lot of passing, that still give you buckets, that's a whole nother level, man. It's a whole nother level, right? We talk about even Joker. I love Joker's game, but at the end of the day, him versus like a Shaq type, Shaq was giving you 40, and you knew he wasn't going to be getting 10 assists. That means he's going to shoot more than he passes, and you knew that. And he still got 40, still got 30. Joker is essentially, you know he's going to pass as much as he shoots. And that's how he manipulates the game to get more easy, open opportunities for himself within the offense. So I just say that to say there is a difference. And LeBron James fans that are upset about this, you guys got to stop changing the game for one person. That's really what this comes down to. You want to call LeBron James great in your mind, if you want to say he's the greatest ever, that's within your right. It's a free country. But he's not the greatest at everything. And as far as scoring is concerned, just because he has that title, Kareem had it and nobody considered him the best scorer. What changed for LeBron James? So y'all got to stop doing this. Y'all create enemies for LeBron, and LeBron is doing it himself too, because I believe he's putting the battery in y'all's backs. Y'all create enemies for this man that are unnecessary. Somebody should be able to say, "Oh, TMac was the better scorer," and we let that go and move on, because we know that to be the case. LeBron is not a great one-on-one player. We know that to be the case. Carmelo Anthony said that too. I don't know if you guys seen that, and Jason Tatum said it. Jason Tatum was on Melo's podcast, and they were like, "Yeah, Bron don't do ones." So how y'all gonna sit up here and say he would be a great one-on-one player? That doesn't make sense. But y'all don't, y'all got to live in reality like the rest of us. And then, maybe then, people would, those of us that are not fans of LeBron would let up on him a little bit. But when y'all start making up reality and disrespecting TMac and disrespecting other players because they're keeping it real and they played the game at a high level and they were great at what they did, and when they tell you somebody else is not as great as they were at that specific skill, y'all fall apart because LeBron's supposed to be the guy to everything. It's childish, man. So, respectfully, I hope you guys figure that out if you're a LeBron fan and you're mad at T-Mac for telling the honest truth. So, I appreciate this video, though. I appreciate you listening to this video, all of you, whether you're a LeBron fan, a Michael Jordan fan, a Allen Iverson fan, whatever, a Steph Curry fan, whatever. Thank you very much for your time. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't click off of the video right away because there's some suggested videos that I'm sure, in fact, I know that you will love. I appreciate you. I'm very humble. Like, share, and subscribe. Much love.
Tell that somehow you'll never get over leaving me.